Typhoon Julian, also known as Krathon internationally here, has weakened just a bit, and it is no longer a super typhoon south of Taiwan, but still expected to bring some significant damage to the island. Not only the winds near the coast, where we're going to have our first landfalling typhoon in southwestern Taiwan since 1988, but also that heavy rainfall across the mountains here, which could add up to a meter in spots. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. Let's talk about this storm system and how it's going to be coming on shore here early Thursday morning, since it's slowed down, pushing back the worst of the weather to Thursday, and how it will track across the island, bringing messy conditions not only to the southern coast, but also typhoon conditions here across the northern areas, even into Taipei. So if you live in one of those high-rise buildings out there, make sure you are well aware of that possibility, the power's going out and elevators stopping and you being stuck somewhere. So that's just one of many things that you need to think about as we look at this storm system approaching. I know thousands have already been evacuated. Schools have been closed out here, especially where the storm is expected to come on shore there in Kaohsiung. I believe that's how you pronounce it, as this kind of wraps around. If I was a storm chaser right now, I would probably head to this area of Taiwan, just because that's where the core of those winds are going to be. But the mountains typically shred these storms just a bit. So even on the east coast around Taitung, you could be looking at those winds coming on shore, because the mountains kind of splitting this and these rain bands wrapping around. The hills of Taiwan do such an impact on these storms. I say hills. They're 3,000 meters high. Radar imagery here, you can see what I'm talking about. There's their core. Now, in a traditional flat area, this would probably come on shore, and that would be the core of the worst of the winds. But if these mountains start to disrupt, the core actually might get shifted just around that area. The point is, there's a range of impacts, and I know we're going to pay attention to that center line, but don't let the fact that it's going to make landfall here make you think that if you're in Taipei or anywhere along the east coast that you're missing out on this. I think this is just going to engulf the entire island of Taiwan here as it passes overhead, at the very least with tropical storm strength, but even typhoon conditions. If there's any good news after it gets over, you can even see here these little dots. This will be a tropical storm, and maybe even a weak tropical storm. Right now, though, still a potent typhoon. This right here, this line indicated that it was a super typhoon, but it's dropped down just a bit due to that drier inflow, and I think some of the land interaction we're already seeing there from Taiwan. So yeah, that's really just as this pulls off towards the north. Let's go back to our outlook here, and as this pushes away, kind of see where the rainfall totals are going to be. Look at this, adding up, not only on the southern coast, of course, but all the way up towards the east. Red indicates over 300 millimeters, and mentioned well over 500 in spots. And you know, we're talking about Taiwan here, but I do want to note Ilocos Norte, northern areas of Cagayan over towards Batanes, they got some rough weather from this storm system. At least as we go ahead through on Wednesday, the rains are going to start to back off for a good portion of Ilocos Norte, and really just in general the rest of the Philippines. Isolated afternoon showers, you know, your typical stuff. Probably going to be more so dry even over towards Manila, but at least conditions are starting to taper off and improve for our friends in the Ilocos Norte area here. And then we just kind of take a look at the broader picture. All right, maybe my thing froze up. There we go. Gotta get those graphics to load here. These are very powerful graphics, and hey, that takes me a second to say thanks for our graphic maker Metro Weather, Weatherscape, and everybody on Patreon that supports the channel. All right, so now look at the waves coming out of this as it pulls off towards the north. But something I do want to note, look on the west side of the Philippines. Let's go back to it. The west side of the Philippines, that's that northerly wind, and that really almost feels like an Amihan type of situation setting up out there as the northeast monsoon tries to spill in behind this storm, and it could kick off not only the transition season, kind of looking closer and closer to kind of the quote-unquote autumn season out here. So anyways, a big thanks for everybody on Patreon who supports this channel. Just want to give a big shout out to people like Garmin, Colonel Cy, Jeff Davis, all you guys who donate even more than $10 a month. Can't thank you enough. And all of our typhoons on this channel, those are people that donate $6 or more, $10 a month. You guys are legends. Thank you so much for always helping out and making sure that we can continue to do what we're doing here. Yeah, it's actually more work than you think, but one, I'm happy it helps out people, and two, there's so many people that really do appreciate and support this channel. So, all right, as always, thanks for watching. Number one thing, of course, is stay safe out there, friends.